Hi, it's Dr. Pat, and this is the beautiful Pascal. He's an 18-month-old veiled chameleon. He's a male, as you can see by the big cask up here, and he's being seen because he has not been eating and his eyes have been closed. So if you look at the eye, he tries to open it but doesn't really get much opening there, and the other eye is open but frequently closed. When you look at chameleons, they might look real peaceful with their eyes closed or that they're resting during the day, but a closed eye in a chameleon is a big sign of concern. It often indicates husbandry problems or illness. Lack of humidity is a big cause of this, and that tends to be a big problem for chameleons in Arizona. So a lot of people will hand spray the cage and then check the humidity, and the humidity is adequate, but in Arizona it will dry out very, very quickly. You really need a mister or a fogger on a timer going on and off throughout the day so that we keep their environmental humidity at adequate levels, and that makes a big difference with their eyes and the tear drainage from the eyes. The other thing is they do need vitamin A supplementation, and without adequate vitamin A, the actual cells inside the mucous membranes can change and we can have problems with the eyes. Then respiratory infections can do this in trauma. The other thing that Pascal has, if you look at the front of his cask, you see all this pink. We've got a wound right here. And this is thought to be a burn. We don't know that for sure, but his cage is a mesh cage, and the heat lamp rests on top of the cage. He can't actually touch the heat lamp, but he's touching the hot wire that's in direct contact with the lamp. And we think that he's burning himself on that. So we're going to distance that a little bit. We're going to get a temperature gun to spot check all of the mesh and the wire and the various locations, which I'd highly recommend with any reptile, so you can actually assess their temperature gradient very appropriately and know that they have an adequate gradient from a slightly cooler to the basking hot end, but nothing too hot that they can injure themselves on. Chameleons, when they're healthy, are really active. They climb around everything. They can get themselves into trouble where we can have burns pretty readily on these guys if they get to too hot an area. He also has retained shed. If you'll look at his side here, you can see some retention all along here. And right up here as well, we have some retained shed. He's thinner than we'd like him to be as well. So we're going to get some changes in the environmental humidity and the supplementation for him. And then we're also going to do a blood profile and just see what's going on inside. And we'll do a fecal exam to check for parasites and treat anything that we find that's pathogenic. So basically with our chameleons, we try to make sure that everything is as perfect as we can make it to reduce stressors and encourage their immune system to be nice and healthy and fight disease. Because these guys, when they get sick, can get sick very quickly, and it can be more challenging to bring them out of it. So it's best to try to prevent it altogether. We're going to work on this little guy today.